Hey, it's Anthony Pirelli with the Billion Bet Podcast. Today I have the pleasure of having Jake Hill on, singer and songwriter for Land and Ammo, as well as numerous other bands. And you now have Chapter 4, your next album, coming out here in a couple days. By the time the podcast is out, I believe it will already be released.
Right on. It's coming out, Chapter 4, February
Woo!
27th. Yeah, it's been a crazy year and a half since we started putting out music. And yeah, we got 4 coming, 5's on the way. And I started to write 6 the other day. So it's been,
Wow. Big stuff.
yeah.
So, where do you find inspiration to write?
For this project, I get a lot of it from sort of the the environment that Rob's in, and the sort of the personal coaching space and all that stuff is very inspiring. It's just like constant inspiration. So I'm always grabbing little nuggets of verbiage or just the way people are talking about it, and some those songs are just coming. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been, I just have more time and I dedicate my day to it now. And last year we wrote and recorded 77 songs. So
77
yeah, in
songs?
like 12 months. So it was like really crazy.
That's more than one a week.
Yep, that is.
Wow.
So
That's incredible.
yeah, we
Yeah,
had a year. So
I love your music. When I'm fixing lawnmowers and stuff, I got it blasting in the
sweet.
trailer.
Yeah,
It's always going.
good shop music. We get that a lot, and that's, it's songs about working, songs about doing your best, and yeah, it's crazy,
Hey,
man.
it's the great American folk music,
Yeah, that's
right?
it. That's it.
They're all sing-alongs. I love it. I
Yeah,
really love it. Super inspiring.
thanks, buddy.
How long have you been out in Montana for?
I've been here for about a year and a half now. It's been crazy. I only planned on staying out here for like a little less than a year, but I was like, no, everything's going too good, and now I got a lady friend out here, and I'm just writing like crazy, and everything feels right. So, and I'm still traveling a lot, and I go back to the East Coast a lot, and I can do those things now, and I'm very grateful for them.
Yeah, I've seen your music with the Oyster Man, correct?
Yeah, oyster guy.
Oyster guy.
Yeah.
So where exactly are you from?
I'm originally from Plymouth, Massachusetts. I was born and raised there. Lived most of my life there. I went to college out in Arizona. Other than that, Plymouth and the Northeast. I have another bluegrass band out of Maine called Stedman's Landing, and I met. I consider Portland, Maine, sort of my home city, even though I'm not from Maine. I just connect with it, and I've been gigging there for so long, and it's awesome. Yeah, I have a whole album with Oyster Guy that's coming out sometime in the summer. So yeah,
Okay.
I love writing, and I've been blessed with some really awesome opportunities in the last couple of years, and the biggest one being out here doing Land and Ammo, and oof, it's so fun.
I'm sure Montana's probably completely different than the East Coast, right?
Very much so. Yeah, there's a lot more space out here. There's a lot. The nature is just beautiful. It's completely different than the East Coast. I love the Northeast. I love the nature and the trees and the wildlife there. But out here, it's just everything's just on a grand scale, and that really helps you think bigger, just by realizing like how small you are compared to a 10,000 foot mountain. So it
Do you
puts things
do
in
uh
perspective.
you do a lot of hiking out there?
Yeah, good amount. Not as much as I
Okay.
should, but I have my daily walks, and walking is a big part of my routine. It's just to get my head clear and keep. Yeah, it's for thinking and ideas. I get a lot of ideas for songs on walks, and yeah, I need to do more, but I do a decent amount. I just, I get my routine has been so good the past year and a half that I don't really want to mess with it. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
And are you able, because I'm from the Midwest,
yeah,
very different than Montana.
yeah,
Well, I guess Montana's kind of a far stretch in the Midwest.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's flat here, where it's not flat by you guys. Can you
Right.
see like mountains on your
Oh,
hikes and stuff?
oh yeah, yeah, man. I
Always?
mean, yeah, it's like right out here. I'm down in Polson right now, at my ladies, and there's the Salish Mountains out of this window, and then the Mission Mountains out of this window, and then Flathead Lake is right there too. I had to close the shade because it's way too bright, but yeah, it's amazing. So just that being around that energy has helped me. Yeah, just oh, I'm like just so in the zone every day. I'm like, okay, we're gonna write, as opposed to I've been in other environments, and writing is a chore or impossible. But yeah, it is good out here. Half of the reason I wanted to come out here is because my favorite writers lived out here and wrote their best stuff out here. So you got to see that as like a some sort of like omen, or something. There's some energy here that allows people to do their best work, and I feel like that's where I'm at now, and I'm just so psyched to be here.
Yeah, it seems like you're like almost living on it's almost surreal. I guess the
Oh,
best word for it.
yes, yeah, yeah. I drive down from Whitefish to Polson, and you drive along 27 miles of shoreline of Flathead Lake, and the scenery's changing all the time, and it's the biggest lake in the of west of the Mississippi. It's the biggest lake out here, and it's just.
Wow.
I wrote a whole album, sort of. I just recorded it this week, a solo album that's sort of about like sort of the area around here, which is called Lake County. So the whole album is called Lake County, and it's yeah, I recorded it this week. Oh man, things have been good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And who are these artists that you had pulled inspiration from?
Yeah, I mean, Jim Harrison, he's a Midwestern guy. He's a Michigan guy, but he lived out in Livingston, Montana, which is down near Bozeman, which is a few hours away. But I got to visit there a few months ago, and it's crazy. It's right next to Yellowstone National Park, so if you've seen the show Yellowstone, it has a lot of that environment. It's just so insane. And yeah, Jim Harrison and Ivan Doig and these guys that have written these great Montana stories, um, that I got obsessed with, at a young age, and then I got the opportunity to come out here after recording with Rob and starting the Land and Ammo project, and I got here and I was just like, whoa, this place has been calling to me for a long time, and now I'm here, and Rob was basically like, if you want to stay, we can make that happen. And I was like, what? So
Yeah.
yeah, a few months later, I packed all my stuff and came out here, and that's where I'm at.
Nice. How did you guys originally kind of meet?
We met many years ago in New York City, working with the same producer, the Hustle Standard, which Rob has done a lot of music with them and has had great success. And I did 5 or 6 albums with the Hustle Standard as well. So we met
Wow.
through that producer, and just sort of always kept in touch. And then couple of years ago, we had always wanted to do a project together, and it was sort of like the end of COVID times, and we had some open time, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try to write some folk songs?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work, but I absolutely will try anything with you because you're a absolute, just savage of all the worlds." And then we tried, and the first song we recorded was Land and Ammo, which is our biggest song, and it's just been crazy. And now we have our fourth album coming out. Our fifth will be out probably in a couple months, and hopefully be recording our sixth by within a couple of months. So
That's
going.
awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
And have you ever tried to like market any of these for like music, like movie soundtracks or anything like of that sort?
Yeah. So a lot of that business is handled by people that have those businesses that aren't. They're much more on the represented like A&R side of um, not in the record making business. They're in the record selling business, and
Okay.
we have a guy out of New York that's helped us before who is has access to shopping our music for us, but it's a really tough game.
Yeah.
Um, and we haven't gotten anything yet. I think it would be great for a lot of things, but it's Hollywood, and it's a very big and strange business.
Yeah, definitely.
So
You
yeah,
probably have to have pockets in Hollywood to get in Hollywood.
it always helps. And we're just completely independent, and we don't pay for any of our stuff. So, which
Good
is
for
great
you
because that
guys.
means all the money we make we get to keep, which is sort of it allows you to continue to make music, which is what we want to do. So
That's the goal, right?
yeah, yeah, to be sustainable or whatever. So
How long have you been making music full time?
full time, it's I've had a couple of intermediary times where I sort of quit music, but not really. I was always doing something, but I got other jobs but yeah, since 21, which I just turned 40, so it's about
Wow.
20 years.
So since you were my age, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. And
incredible.
I played in bands before that. I was playing in bands in high school. I played my first band was probably when I was 15 or 16. I played the saxophone in a ska band, and then I played bass in a punk band, and then I went to college in Arizona, and that's really where I found folk music. So I really didn't even find the music that I was passionate about till I was about 20 years old.
Huh.
Yeah. And then I immediately started writing that and pursuing that. And now that's been about 20 years. So, and I just feel like I'm just finally starting to understand it. Took me 20 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Thanks,
And
man.
what kind of kept you going when the times got hard?
Oh, man. Times got really hard a couple times. You're chasing this dream, and I went to college. I'm from a regular middle class neighborhood in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where everybody goes to college and gets a job, and I didn't do that because I had this feeling that I was meant for art, and it was kind of a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. But I didn't have a choice, like I couldn't. I also, when I was 21, right when I first started, I got in a pretty bad car accident and I broke my back and had to like relearn how to walk and all this stuff. So after that, I was like, I'm not wasting my time listening to anybody else anymore. I'm just going to do what I want because you can just die or, they could take your ability to walk away at any moment. So you just got to do like what you can do. And if you feel it in your heart like that, you gotta continue to push because life's short.
That's a very pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long did it take you to get back up on your feet?
It was a few months. I mean, I was in the hospital for about like a month and a half, and then like before I was walking was a couple of months, and then I had to use a walker for a long time, and it probably took about 6 months to recover.
Wow.
But I had to wear a back brace for like a year. But I would like still go out and play golf because I was a complete idiot. 21 years old playing with a back brace on. But yeah, I don't really even think about that time too much because I don't know, it was a bummer of a time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I don't really have. I do yoga and keep my core strong, or else my back hurts. But if I do that, my back doesn't hurt. So I'm like so grateful that
Hmm.
I'm pretty much pain free. So
And you found core exercises help?
yeah, for sure.
Huh.
especially by not doing them, you really notice it. It's
Sure.
just about something about the way the muscles keep your in the way that I broke my back. It wasn't like it was, I didn't sever my spinal cord or anything. So I was very lucky in a lot of ways, and now I'm very aware of that.
Yeah. Thank God, right?
Yeah, exactly. Thank God. Yeah.
What an incredible story. And what kind of made you transition into the folk music? Have you ever?
Um, I was not really even aware of it until I got to college in Arizona, and my friend Cody, who's still one of my best friends, he really just showed it to me because I was very obsessed with punk rock music. And, the band that we had, we did pretty well around our little area. And, it was really, we were ripping. We recorded a couple albums and, had a couple of big shows. But I didn't really know about folk music. And then I heard, I was like, oh, this is like adult punk rock music. It's like complaining about women or this and that, and or about heartbreak or hard times, but it's just like, and it's also like three chords as well. A lot of the structure was very similar, but it's just the difference between an acoustic guitar and a really driving electric band. Um,
Hmm.
and they're very very similar in ideology, but uh, so I was like, oh, I already know this music.
Where's your favorite place you've ever performed?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I got to last year on the way to that event in New Jersey. We got to play on a Gulfstream, G500 jet. That was pretty fun. And last year down in Cabo, we played a show in Cabo San Lucas at this like beach bar at the marina last year on Rob's 40th birthday. That was super fun. And also that day we played on a yacht, like a 120-foot yacht, like with a couple of our friends, like out sailing, and it was crazy. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Wow.
yeah,
I can only
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. It
Especially on
was
a
really fun.
plane, out of all places, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Huh. And what kind of gave you the idea of the name Land and Ammo?
It was the name of the song first,
Okay.
and then me and Rob were like, we need a band name, and Rob was like, what about Land and Ammo? And I was like, I don't know. It sounds kind of aggressive. He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I was well give it a try. I was like, we could name it something else too. He's like, no, I think Land and Ammo. I was like, all right, whatever, man. I'm in your universe, so I'm just trying my best here.
Oh,
It was definitely his idea, and I was like, oh, whatever. Need a name.
oh,
And then you tell it to some people, and they're like, oh, geez, what's that name? Guns and ammo? It's like, no, it's not guns and ammo at all. It's land and ammo. You don't really get what we're saying, but you know, not everybody's gonna get it, and that's fine.
hey, that's okay. You just gotta keep riding on.
Exactly, exactly.
What is like the biggest change you've noticed living out in Montana?
Oh, I mean, I just have all day to write, so it's like that is the biggest difference of everything. That's we I've just structured my life to wake up feeling good, meditate, go for a walk, try to get a song, and most days I'm successful in that. So, and if I'm not, I'm not too hard on myself. So, just really the space and ability to focus on my craft is awesome.
And is like the lifestyle and is the food and culture different there?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's much more like it's a much simpler way of life. It's very Western in its core of like real cowboy stuff, which is really different than being coastal New England stuff. It's the opposite, but
Yeah.
I enjoy the pace of life a lot more out here. It's a lot slower, and people are not getting in your way. There's enough space for everybody, So
Yeah.
we, it's it's great.
That's
I love it.
that's good. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And who do you think like your first big mentor was when you were trying to, go full at it with the songwriting?
Yeah, I mean, not like I didn't really have one.
Yeah.
I had friends that were doing the same things that I was, and you kind of had friends to commiserate with, or you know, so I didn't really have a mentor. Just like a core friend group of dudes that were struggling to get their name out there or just be relevant or play shows and write songs. And yeah, my buddy Jim Hanft out in LA, he's been in LA since we met playing gigs in Boston when we were 21 years old. So he's probably like my biggest ally. And then I have Alec Rose and Will Knox, who are my buddies in New York, who I had a band, the Handsome Lady Records Club, with. They're also cohorts, and just we could, call each other and complain about mutual things that were happening to us and brainstorm about solutions, or just have a pity party. So
Yeah. At least
I was, yeah. Sorry.
no, that was my bad. At least just people you can relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I find that hard
Yeah.
sometimes, like with me, because a lot of my friends and they all kind of went away to college and so forth, and I
Yeah.
stayed back, and I'm in a unique business where I fix lawnmowers and snowblowers, and
Yeah.
I work alone, so there's not always
Yeah.
that person to relate to all the time or chat with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you get through it, right? It's just a part of it.
Yeah. Exactly. It makes you learn those lessons, and you never forget them. Like it changes your sort of like almost genetic makeup when you learn those lessons alone, which is very valuable, I think.
Yeah,
And it creates strong individuals, and that's what we need more of, I think.
definitely. Yeah, it probably takes a little bit longer for it to occur for you to be able to get through it because you're doing it alone. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Right.
but
Yeah.
sometimes you learn more because of that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you have any concerts coming up or any new engagements?
We're playing at the Red Suit Realtors event, February March 26th in Salt Lake.
Okay.
It's 26th, right? I gotta check my date. Yeah, he's doing like March 26th. Yeah, and then we're playing in Spokane at some event that's gonna be sweet in May, with a couple of things hopefully happening. But Rob's super busy with everything, and we're just focused on writing here, and that's what we've been doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do,
Yeah.
and play a few shows here and there, and that's good enough for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, hey Jake, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast today.
you bet,
I love
man.
you sharing your stories. Super interesting and so inspiring, honestly. Just
Thanks, man.
seeing somebody, you're completely out of your zone, but still in your zone completely, which is just,
Yeah,
it's amazing to see someone come from, the East Coast and end up in Montana writing folk music.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
can
man.
people,
Thanks for
yeah,
having
where
me.
can people find you on social media?
Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram, and that's at Jake Hill Internet. Um, that's kind of my handle on there, and then yeah,
All right.
that's a good place. I'm on Facebook and everything else, but yeah, Instagram's pretty. That's sort of the industry standard now,
Yes,
isn't it?
sir. And then Land and Ammo
And
on
yeah,
Spotify.
right, right. Land and Ammo on Spotify, February 27th, Chapter
February
4.
27th should be out when this is posted. Definitely.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for
All right.
having me, buddy.
Thanks, Jake. Bye.
Peace, brother.